why he fighting this? Why? What is his goal?
Do you understand the words that come out of my mouth?
Welcome back to the Immigrant section. I'm here with my boy Nitish Sakhuja, man.
Sick. Thanks for having me, bro.
Yeah, well, hell yeah, man. I appreciate
yeah.
you reaching through.
Yeah, man.
Bro, you're the guy, man. Mad style. Yo, came in. This guy is militant, bro. If you're not seeing the video right now, full camo. Top to bottom, bro.
That Nike Tech Fleece.
Yo, is that new age shit or is that like a throwback?
It's new. I love sweatpants. You know, I wear sweatpants everywhere.
I know, man. I heard you got time on sweatpants on stage.
Yeah, I only wear sweatpants. And I just look for fresh ones. And Nike has these really nice Tech Fleece fresh.
That's like moisture wick. Is that like casual or straight up like athletic one?
I don't do anything athletic.
Yeah, no, but I'm like as far as like its intent.
Oh, I'm sure it's probably meant for doing athletic shit.
You've never broken a sweat in that shit.
No, never. I try to keep it clean. I break sweats in my Fruit of the Loom clothes.
Yeah. My boy Nitish, you're like when I moved to Toronto like a year and a half ago. Mm-hmm. And I came in and like the city, every city, because I used to like do comedy in San Francisco.
Okay.
And every like local like comedy market, there's always the top weed comics. You know what I mean? Like not necessarily the only weed comics, but they're the guys definitely associated. Mm-hmm. And you're like the guy. I come through the corner comedy. It's like, yo, that's Nitish.
It's cool, but like I don't like.
You don't want that association?
No, I don't mind the association.
Oh, yo, come a little closer to the mic, bro.
I don't mind the association. It's just that I don't want people to think that I'm a weed comic. That like I never talk about weed.
Yeah. That's why
I've never mentioned weed in my comedy once.
That's why I'm saying associated with.
Yeah. I'm just high when I'm performing.
Yo, and I rolled a nice little one here because to commemorate.
Bro, I didn't know we could smoke down here.
Bro.
Right underneath the fire alarm, or else I would have brought a blunt.
Oh, I didn't even notice that shit. Okay, yeah. One sec. Here. So,
so
just a sec. No, 100%. I'm just gonna crack this window open. Hold this.
All right. Podcasts are so weird to me, dude.
If it goes off, then I'll just I'll cut that part. You know what I mean? Okay, we got that going. Mm-hmm. Okay. Should be good. This isn't hot enough to set it off. If I understand these.
Yeah, it should be fine.
Correctly, right?
I've smoked in enough hotels and Airbnbs.
Yo, the hookah. We used to put tinfoil around it.
Yeah. Anything, just cover it up, right? Fuck yeah. Yeah, man. Podcasts are so weird to me because like. My podcast, we do it in front of a live audience.
Yo, yeah. Check out, by the way, the High on Trees podcast with Paul Thompson, who I had on a couple episodes ago.
Yeah.
Nitish and Paul run that shit together for a minute now.
Yeah, it's dope. And it's just taped in front of a live audience. So, like, there's always an audience to tell us.
Feedback. It's like comedy.
Immediate feedback, right?
Yeah,
so, like, when it's just you and me in a room, shit can get really weird, and we won't know until we're in the weirdness.
I know. I totally get what you mean. But when you embrace it, it'll go the way it needs to go.
Absolutely.
You just gotta embrace it. I think this is gonna bring this together.
Okay, fuck yeah, absolutely. Yeah, man.
Hell yeah, bro. What's your background, man?
I'm Indian. I'm an Indian guy. Punjabi. Did you get a lot of resistance going into this thing, or were your parents super back home culture? Like, did they
really grow up here? Or?
No, they immigrated here.
Okay.
Me, my brother, and my sister are the first generation that were born here.
Okay.
But my parents, I have a lot of family in Canada too. But
before you guys came?
Well, all together now that we're all here, right? Okay. But like my family was like the poor family. So everybody else,
they had like doctors and
not even that. They just were pretty well off. Everybody grew up in like Brampton, Mississauga.
Okay.
My family was the only one that grew up in Rexdale, right? So my mom's.
I'm not even familiar with it. Rexdale just sounds like it's the shit.
Yeah, it's like the West End of Scarborough. It's like the West End Scarborough.
Of Scarborough?
No, it's the West End Scarborough.
Oh, West End Scarborough. Okay.
It's the Scarborough.
So closer to the Toronto.
It's the Etobicoke.
True. Rexdale.
And it was just like my mom. Her kids grew up ghetto, you know, and the rest of my cousins were all kind of proper, you know. So,
do you have embarrassment about it?
No, not embarrassment, but my parents had to adjust to that. You know what I mean?
Like how?
How to raise us. How to be cooler for them to like in any way connect with us. You know what I mean?
Okay, because they knew you could see what others had, kind of thing.
And kind of, but they were just like, I don't know. They could tell their kids were a little different than the rest of our cousins and stuff. And my parents were actually pretty cool. They're cool parents.
Oh,
you know?
that's sick. That's rare in the Indian community, yeah?
Yeah, well,
'Cause
they grew up in the hood too, right? They see everything going on around them.
did
right?
your cousins all get pushed to like doctor, engineer, lawyer kind
A
of
lot
shit?
of them are like that. Even my brother, he has a pretty good job. He's like a CA, CFA,
Okay.
accountant, and all that shit.
By the way, that's dominated by Indians and Pakistanis.
Yeah, of course, bro.
All,
Numbers,
like, all
brother.
yeah. Specifically
Fuck
that
yeah.
accreditation.
Yeah, man.
All my Pakistani friends, at least one of their older brothers has that. That's you know.
That's what we do, bro. But I didn't do that. I did the opposite, and there was some resistance. But like, of course, there was resistance. They're like, what are you fucking doing? What are you doing with your life?" Until it started paying off, and then now they're like, they support it fully.
Do you remember how many years it was before you had that payoff moment? That moment where you're like, "Oh, if they see this, or if I show them this, then they're gonna get off my back."
Yeah, it took at least a couple of years. You know, even when it started to pay off, even still to this day, I still get once in a while. My mom will be like,
You still do?
"You should, you know, maybe go
Hang
find
up the gloves."
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know, go find a nice career.
Yeah.
you know, what are you doing, right? But she sees it. She sees it's going well. I get to travel the country, get to travel the world, doing comedy.
Have you done a lot of like out of North America stuff?
I've done some stuff. Well, North America, just the U.S. and Canada, but I'll go to Australia in March for 2 months.
Oh, for Melbourne Comedy Festival? or-
Melbourne Fest for a bit. I'm gonna pass through that for a bit, but I have a bunch of work booked in Australia.
Do a lot of like Toronto comics, they made it out there and they facilitated that for you? Or you just had that hook?
Not at all. I did. I was out in Kelowna doing the Kelowna Comedy
Kelowna, BC, right?
Yeah, I was doing
Yeah.
the Kelowna Comedy Festival.
Okay.
And there was a comic from Australia out there.
This was last year or something?
Yeah, just last year.
Okay. Oh, bring
And-
some mic a little closer.
Yeah, just last year.
Okay.
And he's this comic from Australia. His name is Chris Franklin. He's this older guy. He got famous in Australia by doing a song parody of something.
Okay, gotcha.
And now he's just a touring stand-up comic, pretty famous out there. He's on TV and all that shit. And he was on the festival too. And he took a liking to me because I kept getting in trouble for smoking weed everywhere.
Okay, yeah.
Everywhere I went, I got in trouble for smoking weed.
There's
and
a
then one
smoke
night,
cloud following.
yeah, one night I did like acid, and I was just having a good time, and I bumped into him and his wife in the hotel, and they thought it was hilarious that I was on acid, and we ended up just jamming, talking and shit for like a couple of hours.
Okay.
And for the rest of the festival, me and that guy were just hanging out. That was my fucking boy.
That was your
You
boy
know?
now?
Yeah, and he said to me, he's like, "Yo, as soon as this festival's done or whatever, whenever you want to come to Australia, you let me know and I'll hook it up for you." And I remember that shit. So as soon as I got back, I messaged him and I was like, "Bro, remember you said whenever I want to come to Australia, you tell me when can I come to Australia? You know, I'll come right now."
And he lined it up for you for next
And then
summer.
he said, "Okay." And then over the next couple months, I got a message back from him, and it was a bunch of dates, good money, headlining some clubs all around Australia.
Yo,
Sick. He really
that's
used his
amazing.
influence.
He came
to-
through, huh?
Oh yeah.
He just gave you your tour, like a PDF of like, yo, this is your tour.
Yeah, me and Danny Marinello. Yeah.
Yo, that's sick. Is there a name for it, like a clever name, or is he just lined up all these spots?
He just lined up a bunch of spots at comedy clubs.
Are you guys gonna like make a name for it? Or you're just gonna go knock
Maybe
them out?
we're just gonna go do it. you
Yeah.
know?
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
We're just. I don't know.
Sometimes.
Sorry, that was my phone.
Okay, I was like, I guess I shouldn't open that window. There's a cat outside or some shit. I don't know if that. We get raccoons in this area, by the way.
That was a goat.
Yo, it was. That's the most Indian thing ever, bro. I love it.
Yeah, brother. My bad.
Man, I should. No, bro. I get you, man. We're down here smoking this. I'm actually shocked that this smoke alarm hasn't gone off yet. Huh? It's just like a little cloud directly under it.
Buddy, Canadian fire alarms, bro. They know weed's legal.
Yeah, they're like, it's good.
Yeah.
Yo, he's good.
Wait for it to get a little more intense.
Yo, are you excited for Australia, man? Australians are just. They're the most open party. And bro, you've been to BC, obviously, Whistler. It's all Australians, right?
Yeah.
One time I was in Australia, and this is a true story.
You've been everywhere, eh? You've been all over the world.
Like, I'm a little bit.
Where were you born?
Sudan.
And then when did you...
Sudan, and then I came to Canada when I was 6, started first grade here,
Okay.
till 12th grade in London, Ontario. I grew up in London.
Okay.
Went to Waterloo for school, and then I dipped.
I went to Waterloo too. But
yeah?
I dropped out though.
Okay, hell yeah, man. Bro, like, look who's laughing now, man.
Yeah.
I finished, went to the States, and here I am, 4 years behind you.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, in the long run, in the short term, everyone's like, oh, what the fuck are you doing? Blah, blah, blah. But
What'd you take there?
nanotechnology engineering.
Oh shit.
Yeah, bro.
I was in a.
I was all the way in. I was like, that's some impressive sounding shit. I literally did it because it sounded impressive as fuck.
That's what I did. I went for B math.
Yeah. Oh, with Laurier and Waterloo.
Yeah, the double program.
That's a hard program.
The year that I was there, that would have been the last year that anyone got a B math. They don't give it out anymore. Now it's just a B science.
Oh, good thing.
And I was like, you know what? Let's be a. But then a year into it, I'm like, fuck these Asian people.
Oh yeah. I was gonna say it's all Asian,
yeah,
bro.
I got mad.
It's all Asian.
I got mad. I started hating them.
That specific program is more.
I love
Asian.
them. But at that point, I started hating them before the coronavirus even came.
Yeah, these people that have like complete conviction in getting this degree, and your heart's not in it,
dude. And
you
they're
can't
so
compete.
Good.
You know,
I learned Rexdale math. These guys learn real math. You know what I mean?
You don't realize it until you're there. They're talking about proofs and shit.
Yeah,
You're like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
I know a derivative. Like,
fuck. Yeah,
man. I was gonna say, one time I was in the West. Sorry, no, BC and Whistler. Okay. All Australians, bro. Australians are the most open people I've ever seen. We're at a bar, and it's going off. It's like 10 o'clock in Whistler, and this girl, she posts up to my big like rugby Australian chick, goes up to me and my buddy, or me specifically at the time. She goes, I want you to fuck me.
Was your boy black too?
No, he was Portuguese.
Okay.
She goes, I want you to fuck me, but I want him to fuck me too.
Same type thing?
Yeah, and this is true story. And this girl was big, bro. And her brother was right next to her. True story. And we look at him like he was partying with us the whole time. And she asked right in front of him. It's like a collection now. And he goes, she wants you both, mate. I was like, what the fuck?
My sister's a slut.
Yeah, exactly. What am I gonna do, mate? Live and love and live.
That's hilarious.
But my buddy ended up taking her.
Don't lie.
My word. I mean, why would I bring up that story and lie about that part? Now, I regret not getting involved, to be honest.
Why? You left.
Because that was my one opportunity. Since then, to be honest, I've never really gone and looked for it, but that was the one threesome opportunity that presented itself to me. But not in the terms, like right away I was like, bruh, I'm not trying to see my buddy's hard dick. You know what I mean? Like, but now that I'm like, I said no and time has passed, I'm like, should have probably just said yes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Next time, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
Next time. If anyone out there listening to the Immigrant
no.
wants to run a train with my boy Abbas.
My girl literally listens to this podcast too.
Okay, well, if she wants to,
if she's down for it, we'll figure it out. If there's some eager listeners, you know, she's sick. What up, babe? That's her. Dude,
she's unsubscribing.
I did a lot of traveling before I did comedy because my work required me to travel within the States a lot. I'd go to Nashville all the time.
Imagine you were doing comedy at that time while still working.
I know, man. That's that regret that consumes my mind when I start thinking that question.
Why'd you quit that job, though? For comedy?
Honestly, I had a bunch of jobs, but it fell in my lap. I started doing comedy, and I started getting obsessed with comedy, but I still had this plan like, oh, I'll get good at comedy, and then I'll quit my job. But then I got fired, and I had to leave the States because my visa was no longer good. So
because you got fired?
I got fired. I moved back to London, Ontario. I'm like, fuck all that visa engineering shit. I'm just going to move to Toronto and go 100%.
Because you were a citizen here.
Yeah. You know, I mean, I grew up in Canada. Like, I'm a Canadian, right?
Yeah.
So that's pretty much how I got.
Well, you came when you were 6. So did you have to do a test or anything, or did they just give it to you? Because at that age, it's like...
No, not that. You get like grandfathered into it. Okay. You know, at that they put your ass in ESL and shit. Did you ever? You never had to do ESL, right? Because you.
No, I was born here, bro.
How was that for you? Like, did you?
Normal.
Did you Rexdale?
Yeah.
Not the born part. The birth was it was regular birth. It wasn't C-section. Yeah. But I'm saying, like, did you have that cliche like comedians like I was. Racism every day. I had to face racism every day as the one brown kid. Like,
no,
around.
definitely
Did you have
not.
that
I grew up in the hood. I grew up around tons of Indian people. I grew up around all black people, Spanish people. We had limited white people in our neighborhood.
Oh, bro, I believe you're wearing literally like a camouflage top and bottom. I believe it 100%. That's I could tell, bro. Like I grew up, too. Limberlost. I don't know if you ever heard of that.
No,
it's like a mini hood of London.
Okay, true.
A lot less gun violence in Toronto, but still, we're there. Like it's bad. It's still bad here, you know.
Yeah. But it was like
trapped.
Yeah, it was like maybe 15 white people in my high school.
Yeah.
And they all had the same hallway with their lockers.
So they were the minority.
Yeah, we called it Dawson's Creek Hallway.
Yo, that's hilarious, bro. Literally, this podcast, the whole reason it's called the Immigrant Section is the complete opposite situation in London, Ontario. It's all white, and there's one section called the Immigrant Section that we all hung out at, and the older kids are talking Arabic and just being like, "Yo, Ali," and like, you know what I mean?
That's I experienced that for sure. Whenever I left Rexdale, you know, anywhere else I went in the world, it's all white people.
Yeah, okay,
right.
The reverse happened.
Yeah. But in my immediate surroundings, everyone looked like me.
Okay, man, that's fucking sick, dude. I actually think about that sometimes. I'm like, I wonder if that would have, because you're saying you have a lot of family here. Mm-hmm. My family moved here with like no one here. Okay. Until this day, it's only like my older sister's gotten married, so her in-laws' family is kind of like now we're starting to branch out. Yeah. But for our whole childhood, there was no other. It was like the other Sudanese community families were the ones we had.
Family friends.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But you call everyone uncle, aunt.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know?
Yeah.
But there was like no actual tied shit. Yeah. It was weird. It was like, was it super religious for you growing up?
Not really. I mean, there was religion, but my parents were never
Did you ever put you in a school or any of that kind of shit?
Not really. I mean, we went to school and shit, but no, they knew.
Like a Punjabi school?
A Hindi school. We're Punjabi, but we're Hindus.
Okay, or like a Hindu school?
Like a Hindi school, yeah.
And is it all the kids there? It's like on a Saturday.
Oh yeah, on a Saturday or Sunday
everyone's
morning.
Just kind of like
nobody wants to be there.
Yeah,
I would get kicked out. I would ask to go to the washroom and just wait outside for my mom to come.
Right. Yeah. All the teachers are like volunteers and like they're all like new fresh immigrants.
Yeah.
Because they're all like speak the language the best.
They're all snitches, bro. They all snitch.
Yeah, it's
so quick to call your mom, bro.
Yo, right? And it's literally B school. Like everyone knows this isn't the real school.
Yeah,
this is fake shit.
Some bullshit.
Dude, every culture had that. I went to one called Weeble in London. If you grew up in London, you'll know. Weeble was the building that had the adult night classes at night, had the Arabic school kids on Sunday, had the Chinese kids on Saturday. And sometimes we would overlap with the Chinese kids and they'd be fucking around at recess and the Arabs would be fucking around. It was weird.
Yeah, man. It's a cool experience. I used to legit like ask to go to the washroom, wait outside. And just leave and wait outside for 2 hours until my dad would come pick me up. And literally, I would just look at the sun, and I was at church, so I'd just look at the sun and be like, if my dad doesn't get here in 10 minutes, I'm losing faith in you, God. Just testing God. And fucking dad never showed up, bro. So,
bro, nothing can really badly happen to you in those fucking... Like, we know it's not real, you know?
Yeah. Like unless you're a Catholic kid, then you're probably going to get molested.
Yeah, 100%. The fathers, they go hard. They got touched, they molest now. It's a cycle. But for the Arab kids, those were the classes that you would have the most aggressive class clowns because they were taking risks in those. You know, shit you couldn't pull off at regular school. Yeah. They're loud and angry and like everyone's combating the teachers. I remember that shit. That's the most like wild turned up kid classroom experiences I ever remember.
The teachers they're not trying to be
They're
aggressive.
not equipped.
Yeah,
they're not ready.
They never had no training.
And this kid's like beatboxing and he won't stop and they're telling him stop or I'm going to call it, but he won't stop and everyone's cheering for him. It's like, what the fuck? This would never happen regularly.
That's the immigrant side.
Yeah, right. Literally. You know what those schools need? They need like a Samuel Jackson type super like I need to help these. I need to save these kids.
Stop, motherfucker.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
I know this is not regular school, but you got to learn these words. It's like, oh, shit. He's getting to these kids.
Oh, man. You learn what you learn from your parents. Everything else, that's just time for us to fuck around with our friends.
That's actually well put. That's actually really well put, man. Fuck. Right. You're so right. Everything else is just kind of playtime.
Yeah, man. I never learned shit from that school. Right? Maybe a little bit. But hardly anything. Mostly what I know how to speak my language or anything is from my parents.
Dude, you know what? Those schools you would always leave with the most photocopied staple shit that no one is looking at.
Nobody.
You have to leave with something in your hand so your parents are like, okay, they're doing something.
Yeah.
I remember just throwing those out and you'll be like, the boy went to school. Yeah. The boy went to the mosque, like in Arabic.
Fuck that.
Shit was literally it was a
that
nuisance.
Shit free?
Huh? Ours, I think we paid for. I'm sure we paid for. Or maybe might have been a community subsidized thing.
I have no idea.
I don't know.
That's how much. That's how little we didn't give a
I'd
fuck.
never
We were,
asked, bro. Weeble, if you went to London, you probably know that shit. Email.
Because you were fucking hanging out with someone else, somewhere else in the church or temple or whatever, and then you come meet your mom, and she's like, "Oh, I signed you up for classes," and you're like, "What the fuck?
Yeah.
What do you
like,
mean?
You didn't ask me shit.
Yeah, I wasn't there, so you don't know if any money was exchanged. Probably though. Greedy bastards.
Probably. I would imagine at
Yeah.
least they hand something. Bro, one time my dad put us in the Muslim kids camp. He goes, you have to be 14 or older. He put me and my brother in it. It's like a Islamic camp. You go do Islamic shit in the forest.
Yeah. Learn how to make bombs and shit.
Yeah,
whatever.
exactly. Basic Islamic shit, right? How to make hummus, how to make C4, standard Muslim shit.
Both ends of the spectrum.
Yeah.
First you feed, then you blow.
Dude, you had to be 14 or older to get in, and I was 12. I was 12. And it was like in August, and my birthday is October. My dad goes up to the guy. He goes, "Look, he's almost 13, so he's almost 14." And the guy's like, "Yeah, okay, all right.
Yeah,
just
you're
give us
right.
the 250,
Yeah.
you know?" Dude, that was the longest, bro. Like, those camps are so funny because they like
Were they stay
try
away
to
camps?
trick you into Islam.
But was it like a stay away camp?
Yeah, it's just like, yo, we're gonna do canoeing. Yo, we're all gonna canoe. But after, obviously, we're all gonna pray, right? Because God is great.
Yeah.
Right, guys? Like, yeah, God's great. Let's get the canoe, you know?
Every church was. Even like when I went to high school, there was a church across the street. And we used to go because they gave us free lunch, hot dogs for lunch.
Yeah.
But in order to get the hot dog,
Yeah, you'd have to listen
you
to
have to
some
listen to some shit about Jesus. And you're like, oh my God. When this guy stops talking after 20 minutes, we get hot dogs and we get to use the pool table. You know what I mean?
Yeah, literally, bro. All these religious, like, aggressive people, they come at you like a timeshare meeting.
Exactly.
You know, you're just like, I'm just trying to get this ski lift, you know?
And some people get fucked and they're in it for 20 years.
Yeah, right.
Right?
Like, literally, it's kind of like falling into
Yeah, man.
like
And
a timeshare.
a lot of them are lifetime contracts. You can't get out of it.
Yo, it's actually the best analogy.
Yeah.
This door's creaking open, man. It's scaring the shit out of me.
It knows. Allah's listening, bro.
Yeah, God is watching. Bro, my mom would always be like, my mom is super religious, super the highest level, pretty much. She would always
Does
be
she
like,
listen to this podcast?
no, it's not Quran. If I called it the Quran, she'd play it. You know what I mean? But like, she'd always be like, keep the bathroom door closed. Close the bathroom door. And I'm like, why? And she goes, shawatin? She means it's like demons. Demons are gonna come out of that bathroom door if you keep it open.
Why,
Because
'cause of
demons are
toilets?
in. Because it's a bathroom.
Toilets? Like,
Shawatin, like, you know what I mean? Like,
but why are the demons coming from the washroom? Why not anywhere
because
else?
it's like a
where
dirty
you
place.
that's where you shit?
can't pray there. That's where you shit. I guess that's what it comes down to. I don't know if it's even like
the demons
Islamic
coming out of your
or-
ass.
Yeah, exactly. Right. There's just
Yeah.
weird shame. Like, it's such a natural,
Never heard that one
normal
before.
place.
That's cool.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know if it's even a Muslim thing or a Sudanese like village thing.
Okay.
You know, you don't know if it's religion or culture.
Maybe
or what
more maybe it started off in Sudanese village thing because you guys were shitting in a haunted hole. You know what
There's
I mean?
a lot of that stuff, bro. There's a lot of that stuff in Islam. They say if you pee standing up, your punishment, you're supposed to sit down and pee.
Even men?
Men specifically.
Okay.
Yeah, women.
Women,
obviously
stand
doesn't
if you
really
want.
work. Yeah, it's a mess for everyone.
Yeah.
You know, but for men, you're supposed to sit to pee. If you stand to pee, when you die, a snake will wrap up its body around your corpse.
Why? Is disrespectful to
pressure-
stand and pee?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. Like, there's no why.
one asks
You don't hear
why.
the parable about the why. You just hear the parable about what will happen if. You know what I mean? You never hear the because of this and this and this and that.
That's fucked.
You never hear that shit.
I'd be killed so fast if I grew up in any of those countries.
I know, man. It scares the shit out of
It's just
me.
naturally inside of me to say why
Yeah.
to everything. I'd say why till they killed me, and then I'd be like, why?
That I didn't do that for so many years. It took me a long time. I didn't fuck around with drugs or like
Mushrooms.
the counterculture till like into my early to mid 20s. Whereas a lot of kids, they dip into that stuff at like 16. You know,
and they come out of it.
and they come out of it or whatever. But by the time I dipped into it, I already was in my career.
Yeah,
and then
yeah,
like
right.
slowly start to slip out of the
Yeah,
career
you're
rather than
fucked
slip
then.
out of school.
Yeah, you're fucked then.
Yeah, you slipped out of school.
Yeah.
I slipped out of the career. You know.
Yeah, slipping out of the career is harder because now you have this.
Way harder.
You've built this life.
Yeah.
Right?
Bro, listen to this, bro. You know cars, right? Mm-hmm. Bro, when I was 22, I got a job in the States, okay, in Detroit. It paid 60 grand salary, okay? And I moved to States, and within a month, I go walk in, and I have a Nissan Sentra 2001. It's 2014. I go walk into BMW, okay? And I get a lease for a BMW 435 X-Drive. It just came out, the
Okay.
2014. Okay, it's $1,000 a month. Okay, I just got there. You know, my rent is $1,000 a month. The insurance is like $200, and I furnished this apartment like I was balling out, bro. I put myself on credit card debt for 3 years because of that car, and I couldn't leave the job because like everything I had built was built off of that, making sure I get the 2,400 biweekly or whatever the amount is. You need that number to come into your account to make this whole charade keep going. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, dude.
It's so fucking hard. The
Fucked.
only reason it worked is because I got fired.
Severance.
There was no severance, but it cut it. Like there was a decision that was hard to make for me to move up from all that stuff. But getting fired put me in that.
So what'd you do? You gave the car back?
Bro, it all worked like serendipity, man. Straight up. I moved to the States. I got a 3-year lease. Within 1 month of that 3-year lease finishing, I lose this job. I get fired. So I have a decision of either trying to aggressively try to get a job there, or I was like, fuck it. I went to BMW. I gave him the car back a month early. I walked out of BMW on foot too. That was the best feeling. Cause have you ever leased a car?
No, I just buy used cars.
Listen how stupid this was. So I was paying a G for it a month, right? And I got 24,000 kilometers because when you lease, they give you a set amount you have to return it with. So I had 24,000 a year. And within 8 months of having the car, I was already at like 27,000. Okay. So I got to a point where I couldn't drive the car because I was so over. I was trying to catch up because I was like, oh, I'm not going to pay at the end. I was being stupid at the time. But I was so over, I wasn't willing to drive anywhere, and I didn't have money to go anywhere because I was so broke because of the car. I was just at home, and I felt that was the most I ever felt retarded and trapped
Bought a
in my
car
life.
to go somewhere and you can't
I
go
was like,
anywhere.
I
'cause it's
feel
too
trapped.
expensive.
Yeah, all the money is there. I'm just sitting in this apartment in Detroit because I'm always driving back to London or like to see friends, right? Because I work in a company with all like married fathers. There's no young section of this company. So it's just like it's all program man. No one to hang out with. It's weird like suburb area. It was fucked. It was so I was constantly driving back to Ontario.
Why'd they fire you?
No, that job I left, that was Detroit.
Oh, okay.
Right after that, I left. I was like so miserable, and I started doing comedy. I was miserable. And I was like, you know what the problem is? Michigan is the problem. If I go to California, everything will be good. California will fix everything.
So you went to California.
So I fucking LinkedIn has a function where you can just to apply for jobs. You go LinkedIn in, it's called, where you just apply. You click a button, and it gives them your resume. And I did that to every job that had that button, because it was easy, right?
Yeah.
So I just did it 50 in LA, like 50 in Portland, 50 in San Francisco, anywhere in the West. I was like, the West will fix. So I ended up getting a job in San Francisco. I moved to San Francisco, and I go super. At this point now, I'm doing hardware. I'm an operations program manager for a hardware startup.
Okay.
And they're working me like a dog, bro.
Were they paying you well?
They're paying me amazing.
Okay.
Amazing. But like at this point, I'm already in the comedy, so I already know it's like, okay, this money is sick, but this is so committing to me that I can't do sets. Like, bro, they would throw me into. They sent me to China for 3 weeks. This is before
Was it
Carnival.
fun though?
No, not at all, man. Like, I went to China and I did mics at Shanghai. I did a couple open mics. That was sick. Every day I could get away. But for the rest of it, they worked me like a dog.
What did you do?
All I did was sit in a conference room, okay? This company was launching a product in China, a new product. And this was the prototype phase. And all my job was to do was sit in a conference room, and all the manufacturing engineers and electrical engineers on the prototype line, if they came to problems, they come to me and they go, this happened, this happened, this happened. Based on our directives, what do we do? What is the priority? And I just sat there and be like, they said that this is the most important, so do that. And then I just keep sitting there in a room that has no windows, bro. 14 hours a day, okay?
Jesus
and I walk
Christ.
for 6 days a week, and I've already accepted the money. There's no leaving there. But that's what that big paycheck, you give your life, man. It was the worst. I was just literally there trapped
For 6 months? 3 months?
for like weeks at a time, which is still a lot. And then they would send me back, and they're like, you'd have to go back. And I'm like,
How much money did they give you up front?
they didn't give me any money up front.
Or whatever. What was the paycheck for it? Whatever. You're a fucking comedian.
120.
120 grand?
120 US.
Jeez.
This is back in like 2015.
And how much of your life did they take away?
Got all of it.
No, but like for how much?
Oh, like when I'm back in the city?
Collectively, how much time did they get from you? How many months?
5 months.
5 months?
Yeah.
For 120 grand?
No,
US?
I mean, that's what if I stayed a whole year, I would have got 120
Oh,
grand. They didn't
okay.
it was like employment, you know? That's how, like, with salaries, they give you a number.
Yeah, no, I
and
thought
then-
you said, like, when you said you accepted the cash, I thought they were like, to make it
Oh,
easy
hell
on
no,
you.
no.
Here's 120 grand so you can go out there and do whatever you want.
Okay, but I'll tell you this story, though. So I was living in Michigan. I got that job in San Francisco. I told them, give me money to move out there. I can't just move everything. I have a car, blah, blah, blah. They're like, okay, we'll give you, I'll just...
Say it.
Yeah.
It's all good.
So they're like, okay,
You're
we'll
broke
just...
now.
Yeah, exactly.
It's all
Like
good.
there's tires. The camera is
bro.
sitting on top of 4 tires, by the way. If you can't, you can't see it.
Yeah, man.
But they go, we'll give you 5 G's. I'm like, no, give me 10 G's. That's what it's gonna cost me. And they're like, okay. And then they're like, I'm like, okay, give me the money. And they're like, no, you can claim up to 10,000 with receipts and everything. And I'm like, okay, you want to play that game? So, bro, I didn't buy furniture. I swear to God, I went to a carpenter and we started sketching out what I wanted because I'm like, I'm gonna use every dollar of this money.
Nice.
Okay?
And did you use it all?
Oh yeah, I submitted a claim for 9,800 of the 10,000, bro.
And you got it back?
Bro, I was staying at my buddy's place for like a month. I was like, bro, let's draft up a contract right now that you're charging me. I send you the money. Show a paper trail and
He just sends it back to you?
I submitted. I'm like, yeah, exactly. But I gave him a cut.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I'm not doing this anymore, but this is what I did. This was years ago.
Yeah.
And it's all good now, I think.
Buddy.
Like, they're going to come after me.
Whatever. Fuck
Bro.
you, company in Detroit.
Bro, that was savage. The San Francisco company I worked for, that was the most savage corporate environment I ever worked.
Why? People just getting fired every day?
Just in the most heartless way. Like one time, my boss, who we would never had an office, because no one has an office in San Francisco. You just meet at Starbucks and shit like that, because it's lean. You don't have to pay for a lease. One day, we're out at lunch. We're about to meet with the CEO at 1, and we're mid-meal, and he goes, "Just a heads up. I think I'm about to get fired right now. I think Roger's about to let me go." I'm like, "Huh?" And I start choking. I'm like, "What the fuck?" Because this is the only like line of contact I have. And he's like, "Yeah, I saw." He used to be the CFO, but he was becoming like obsolete. He's like, "I saw a payment, a lesser payment go into my account that only happens upon termination," because he used to handle that. Like, so he knew he was done. I'm like, no, don't say that. You don't know if it's over. Bro, we show up. The CEO in the most coldest way. He sits us down. He goes, "All right, Xander, what are you working on right now?" And he lists, and he has him write out everything that is open-ended, pretty much. And then not like, tell me everything that's open-ended. Just like, tell me everything you're doing right now explicitly. And then I just watched him tell him, and then he asked me to leave. And then
So, intern, did you get fired too?
No, because they found out I could kind of do both. His job wasn't necessary. I was doing his job. Because our whole thing was selling manufacture. What's it called? Kickstarter. Mm-hmm. Kickstarter is the #1 crowdsourcing platform. The #2 is called Indiegogo at the time.
Yeah.
So the reason I got hired was to go to we partnered with Indiegogo. So anytime some kid built like a cool mechanical hand or some cool camera glasses and he got like $1 million for it, I would come in and I would be like, "Hey, look, our company XX can manufacture this product faster and we can get it to market cheaper than you can. So work with us and our preferred blah, blah, blah." And I would try to take as much of that crowd. So, because
You guys are trying to fuck these guys.
it usually takes X amount of millions of dollars to fully validate and get a product to the market.
Yeah.
We know this, and we never mention this. We just go, "We can get your product to the market. Start working with us. We're gonna bill you until you're leached out, pretty much."
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you guys-
And no one was falling for it. Okay,
Nobody fell for it.
Everyone wanted to hold on to every dollar, and they thought they
sure.
could do it themselves, right?
But
So,
what happens if you get like $1 million and you can't do it?
as long as you show the proof of spending it for like just cause,
bro.
those people, when you crowdfund, you don't require anything back. Like this looks like a cool idea. I'll give you $14. You know what I mean? I hope you make it like happen.
Yeah.
It's not like they don't owe you.
So technically,
anything.
if you want, you could just leave with it. And
Yeah,
do whatever.
yeah. I mean, I think you'll get fucked. Like the whole system is put in place so that people can't fuck it like that. But there's been a lot of cases like this one. Actually, our company worked very closely with a notorious startup that did just that. I forget what they were called, but they made their whole thing. They got so much crowdfunding from their prototype of a motorcycle helmet that in the inside has cameras and everything. And it shows you everything. But it was impossible to manufacture, okay? And the CEOs, these two twins, started buying apartments. And they bought like an R8 is when the whole thing started to crumble. Because these guys were just balling out movie style. Like, have you seen that...
Fuck yeah, that's what I would do.
That's how you would go down, right? 'Cause
man.
you're still doing shows.
Bend it and apologize later.
Do you ever think about like what would happen if you got to like a rapper amount of money, like the baby? How old is the baby right now?
I don't know.
Like,
but yeah,
young
I have,
20s, and he's probably making
I
like
have thought about it. First thing I would do is
millions a month.
bro, if someone offered me like a $50 million check in this comedy shit, if that ever happened, first thing I'd do is
Like in exchange for something, or just
or like whatever. What if it was for a TV show or like Chappelle 3 specials?
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah.
Whatever it was. First thing I'd do is straight up I'd call my brother and be like, quit whatever fucking job you're doing right now. You have a new hedge fund to worry about. You know what I mean?
Is that what your brother does? He manages.
Well,
like,
he just
fund.
Yeah, he's just like a.
Or he's into that.
He's an accountant, tax guy. He's into that stuff.
Okay, got it.
CFOs for companies. And
Yeah,
shit.
you're working for me now. Full
Yeah,
time.
exactly. Yeah. Quit whatever you're doing. Come
Yeah.
over here. Take 80% of this.
Yep.
Save it, and I'm gonna go party with the rest.
Yo, you could even be like, take 90%.
Yeah, straight up.
Yeah,
Straight up.
In fact, yeah, take as much like
you want.
Take
Yeah,
almost all of it.
take all of it,
'cause
take care-
everything you leave.
Take
is
care of
gone.
everybody we need to take
Yeah,
care of,
yeah.
and start investing. Or
Bro, I
whatever.
think about that too, man. That would be the way to go. To just bring like all your people that, just everyone you know, like.
Not everyone I know. I
No,
don't,
not
I don't like a
everyone
lot
you
of
know. No,
everybody I know.
Everyone, as in you.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyone that you would have touch your money.
Absolutely, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's like people. People are very like antsy about that,
Absolutely.
right?
Yeah.
To just be like, oh, bro, you're always killing it. You do this, man. You got to come do that and like work for this thing that's being built. you
Yeah.
know? Like put those efforts towards this. You know.
Yeah, man.
I feel like that's the way to live. You know.
And it's harder. It's easier to think about and have people in your circle. If you ever try to build something, have a circle before you blow up. Because if you blow up and then you have to start building a circle now, people are
that's tough.
They're gonna
How do you
steal from
decipher who's who?
Yeah, people are gonna steal from you. dude.
Yeah, 100%.
Everyone's gonna want a piece of your money.
You got to have your base, and I think if you come up right and you do the time you have to do, you will establish that base. Unless
Exactly.
you're a piece of shit.
Yeah, or it just you never know. Some people just blow up.
Yeah. Like, but when people just blow up out of nowhere, I feel like it's like out of nowhere, like they're not bubbled up enough. I feel like it phases quick.
That's
It
what you
doesn't
get
do
taken
them.
advantage of.
It doesn't do them a service.
What happened to Rihanna? She got robbed by her manager for how much money?
I thought they indicted that guy.
I have no idea. But whatever. Even the fact that it happened.
That shit happens a lot, man.
Exactly, yeah, man.
He's like, oh, I'll handle the legal and I'll handle the this. Like, and you're
Yeah,
blind
and she's
to
getting
everything that's
$1,000 a week, or whatever.
She's like, yeah, exactly. Literally, like
She's the most money she's ever
she's
seen
making
before, right?
$96,000 a
Yeah,
year.
and
She's
she's
like,
like,
this doesn't seem right.
No, even in her head at that point, when she just came from fucking Barbados, she's like, even if she got $1,000 a month, she'd be like, what the fuck? This guy just gave me $1,000.
In a month?
Who knows? She
Okay,
probably-
okay.
She made millions.
It was something ridiculous.
It's
Yeah,
something like that.
Yo,
you know
but
what I mean?
Kendrick has a whole. Kendrick has a lyric about that. He goes like, what I heard about what Rihanna's manager did to her makes me want to kill somebody. Like, apparently it was like theft to the level where he was like, I want to kill this person.
Yeah, dude,
Like,
it's crazy.
Dane Cook's brother straight up robbed him too. Is in prison now.
That's
Because
so
Dane Cook
stupid.
blew up young too. Remember how young Dane Cook blew
Just
up?
ask your brother for some money.
He straight up robbed him though.
Yeah.
He was handling all the stuff.
That's crazy. Dude.
Like but I feel like that would never happen with a brown or like
I
non-white
don't-
family.
I
That would
just-
only happen.
I guess it could happen with anybody, but I just don't see it happening. I guess he didn't see
Could
it
you
happening.
picture it happening?
I guess he didn't see it happening with his brother either, right?
Bro,
But-
the only person I've ever known suing their parents have been white people.
For sure.
You know, that like falls into
Absolutely.
that same category, right?
White, I don't know. It's crazy. How you gonna fuck over your family like that?
What do you think about this? Have you changed anything about the way you're living with the fear of this whole coronavirus? Everybody's hitting me up like, avoid this, and they're sending me pictures of like, wash your hands,
not
wash
at
behind your thumbs.
Nah, I'm just living the same life I lived before.
Exactly, man. I make sure to do exactly that.
Yeah, man.
Because these things come and go.
Yeah, I never talked to Chinese people before. I won't talk to them now.
Nothing's changing.
Nothing's changing at all.
Bro, I went to Waterloo. I did. I already spent the 5 years.
No, man. I'm fucking around. I'm not worried, bro. I just practice basic hygiene. You'll be fine.
Yeah.
We live in Canada. We should be all right.
This is like 2 reported or like confirmed cases in Ontario, and I don't even know if they died.
But apparently, people are saying in China it's pretty bad. Like,
oh yeah, the death.
They're not telling us real information. They're saying it's hundreds of thousands of people actually infected with it.
Oh, actually?
But they won't tell us. I don't know. The Anonymous dropped a video, but I don't know.
Saying like it's way worse than we actually think.
Yeah. And when does Anonymous do shit?
Dude, that's actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. When's the last Anonymous video?
I know. That's what I'm saying. I haven't seen one in forever. And then they came on dead.
What did the video show? Like real numbers?
They didn't show nothing. They just showed the guy at the fucking V for Vendetta mask just talking
about that.
Yeah.
Oh shit! If he's choosing this subject, that's pretty powerful,
right? And he was saying that China's spreading misinformation. It's a lot more people infected than they say, but who knows, yo?
Bro, that's exactly. Did you ever watch that Chernobyl documentary?
Yeah, I don't know if I finished it,
but they found that they did the exact same thing. They were like, yo, it's good, it's fine. And everyone on the outside who's already fucked was like, oh, look, it's good.
Yeah.
Because it's in their interest to make sure this is contained, like as far as like from a PR and like from an actual perspective.
Absolutely. Because I'm sure China's like, okay, whatever, we'll just lie about it. And when it's all done, we'll fix it then. Because worst case, they'll just lie about it. And if it doesn't get fixed, whatever, it's a zombie land now. You know what I mean? They don't have to worry about the consequences.
Yeah, man. Like to think of how bad it would have to be for them to need to build a hospital in 6 days. You know what I mean?
That's madness, dude.
How bad? Well, it'd have to be a lot worse.
And it shows how efficient they are. Yeah. And how bad our fucking construction companies are.
But what do you think? I think if like a crazy virus started coming here, you would start seeing record construction speed too.
I don't think so.
Maybe not 6 days, but a couple months.
Nah, bro, the mafia runs our fucking construction.
Legit, huh? They
get paid off for it taking so long.
Oh.
You get way more money on a 3-year project than you do on a 2-week project.
Is this like some dangerous shit to say? Are people getting? It's like, yo, I don't know. I don't want to get involved.
We're not the first ones saying this. Fucking Simpsons said it 100 times.
People have been connecting the dots.
Yeah, I don't even know who the Montreal guys. I don't know who.
Oh, Montreal's supposed to be all mafia run.
Yeah, everywhere. Man, any of these first world countries are mafia run, built on heroin money.
Wonder actually how much money is made.
Dude, every country
on a daily basis.
Every country that's like a first world country is built on fucking drug money.
Yeah, because there's like the masses need to get fucked up.
And that's how they got. Who do you think financed building the roads, bro?
Oh shit, the mafia. It's all tied.
Yeah, dude.
Oh shit.
Yeah, man.
This is like the.
Who has money to throw away like that?
Have you ever?
Especially back then when there was no industries and shit. It's people slave money and fucking.
You're right.
Drug money.
Who does have money at that time like that?
Slave money and drug money.
It's like all the people who do business in all cash. They're like, oh yeah.
And back then it was all cash. There was no other system of doing it.
I'm sure there was like banks still did like mortgages and stuff like that.
But it's all shekels, bro. You know what I mean? Like
you'd come with like a wagon full of like a physical thing to pay someone.
That'd be fucked. And they weren't dealing with numbers we're dealing with now. If you had a mortgage, it was a $4,000 mortgage.
Something way more reasonable.
That was how much your house cost, $4,000. There's only 3 zeros you have to worry about. You know what I mean?
And now it's fucking gone up like 3 magnitudes.
Yeah. Fuck that. That's why, man, if you're listening to this podcast, sell drugs and buy shit. That's your only solution.
Drugs and buy shit. Like buy assets? Sell drugs, buy land?
Whatever. Assets, land, you know?
New High on Cheese podcast t-shirt.
Yeah, Drew.
Sell cheese, get land.
Yeah, man. You got to before they get it all.
Do you grow, by the way?
No.
You've never like dabbled with it?
I for a bit, my friend was growing for me, but I never grown my own.
Every time in the movies they show those big greenhouses or whatever, where someone's walking through the rows of it?
I've done that. I've done that a million times. Yeah, I know a
you
bunch
did
of
that
people
with like
grow.
a comedy tour.
Yeah, and I just have a bunch of friends who grow, but I just don't have that passion to grow myself. I love good weed.
Yeah.
I source good weed all the time.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm a hunter of the quads, but
Hunter gatherer.
the precision to grow, I don't have enough patience. I can't grow the good weed that I want. I just don't have that patience. I'm not a patient guy. And to grow something, to grow anything, you need patience and love and all the good vibes and all that. I'm just like, I can't wait that long. Just fucking tell me when it's done, bro.
Yeah, tell me who has it done now.
Yeah,
I'll pay.
exactly. Yeah.
I got cash.
Yeah, exactly.
Dude, imagine, you know, like the Brinks guard guys?
Mm-hmm.
That job has been a job for like probably thousands of years, right? Like guys like with a horse and like,
Yeah.
and like just straight up armed and they got a bunch of gold in the back. That's fucked, dude. Imagine like being on the lookout for like arrows and
Yeah,
shit.
bro.
Like,
And that's why
the Wild
the
West.
stick up kid has also existed just as long as that guy's existed.
Oh, true. Yeah, it's like the yin and yang of things,
yeah,
bro.
man. What came first, the chicken or the egg, right? The guy hoarding the
Stick
gold
up
or the guy trying to take the gold?
Shit. That's like Sun Tzu. Yo, bro, I actually kind of want another joint. I wish we had one.
I didn't know this was a smoke-friendly podcast. Or else I would have brought a blunt. I bring them everywhere. But I didn't bring it here because I was like, you're like, we're doing it in my house.
I actually
and
I
look at
this
you and
guy's
I'm like,
gonna roll in with like a bunch.
and I was like, no, you look like a proper guy.
Yeah.
You don't smoke in your home.
Oh shit! Well, now I feel judged, bro. I was trying to open it to make it comfortable for my guest, bro.
No, I see it
And you're
now.
like, and you're like, you're a piece of shit for smoking in here.
No,
I'm like,
no,
bro.
no. Next time I
that's all
come,
love. What the fuck?
Next time I got you. No, I didn't say you're a piece of shit.
No,
I said-
I'm fucking around. I'm fucking
said
around.
you
But
look-
yeah, I actually straight up was like, this guy's gonna come with a blunt.
I know.
for
In my
sure.
head, I was like, I should, but then I was like, I'm running late.
But I guess I actually never have smoked on here. I've like done podcasts high, but smoked on here. I was like, yo, I gotta have something for Nitish. You know what I mean? Just to be like, welcome to the house. Welcome to mi casa, bro.
Yeah,
Did you
thanks,
see
man.
that joint? The weed was trapped by the fucking filter and shit.
It was good. It was good. It
wasn't
was
too
a solid joint. I've seen people roll some shitty fucking joints, so.
What are you saying with the podcast these days? Like, do you see that people are coming more to shows, or like they're? Do you see a difference before and after like you started the podcast? Because I've seen like people actually hit me up and be like, "Yo, you know, like,
Absolutely,
when's your
bro.
next show? I'm actually like down to come through." I'm like, sick.
Yeah,
This
man.
is actually kind of.
The podcast has actually been crazy. It's crazy how many people listen to podcasts.
It is, man.
Like, since we started doing the podcast, not only have people been coming out to watch the live podcast, like a couple weeks ago, we had a couple drive from Montreal just to listen to the podcast live. You know?
Legit.
Yeah. You know,
Holy
they did a
fuck.
6-hour drive just to hear it.
That's
you know?
incredible, man.
Yeah, it was crazy, right?
That's a sick feeling.
People are coming from everywhere. I get messages every day about the podcast. When I put the podcast up, I have my boy edit it. Drew
Yeah.
edits it. He puts it up, and it's usually up in the evening, and I don't promote it until a day or two after.
Okay, yeah.
I don't know why. This is how I
That's
do it.
just how you do it?
But when I look online, before I even promote it or anyone knows it's out, the numbers are up. People are listening to it. You know what I mean?
Man, that's
People are watching it. And
people
following
are waiting for it.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like a saga.
I get messages when sometimes because we're lazy, you know. I don't have that drive. Like, I have a drive to work.
Yeah.
But then there's like, oh, now I have to put all that work together. Now I have to edit and do all that shit, and I hate that shit.
Bro, that's the only benefit I'll say to that corporate life. It was like a 3-year boot camp for me to get my like computer organization.
Yeah.
Like, I got that beaten into me,
Yeah.
so I can just quickly knock that.
You're gonna
shit
go
out.
do this right done quick when you're done.
Yeah, just like
Yeah.
like that. I had to do it so many hours for so many weeks for so many like.
I need
months
somebody
and
to do
years.
that shit for me. That's why I do it on my boy's schedule. So I'm like, whenever I see you next, I'll bring you the next episode. So sometimes I wait 2 weeks because he's going on tour or something.
Okay.
And when he comes back, it's been 3 weeks, and I have 4 episodes for him to put up. And I have people messaging me, when's the next episode coming out? When's the next episode coming out? But the next day, 4 episodes drop at the same time.
Oh shit! Okay,
know?
so you're like, okay, so you're giving them the number. It's just they gotta understand, like, it may not come exactly when you expect
exactly,
it,
yeah,
but
yeah.
you're gonna get the right
You're
number.
gonna get
At the
it.
end of the month, you're getting 4 podcasts.
Yeah,
kind of thing,
exactly.
Right?
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
fucking sick, man. Yeah, like I've actually had people.
Like when we first started this podcast, we're at like episode 70. So it's been going for like 70 weeks now.
Okay, sick. This is
The
episode 40, by the way. This will be episode
see?
40.
Right, fuck yeah. But the first 40 episodes,
Yeah.
no, maybe the first 30 episodes, we didn't even put them up yet. I had like,
You dropped 30 together?
no, I dropped maybe the first 11 together. at one point. But then I had 30, and I was only dropping them on SoundCloud. And together at this point now we had 40 episodes, and I just uploaded them all one shot on Spotify, and we just dropped 30 episodes one time. You know what I mean?
That's fucking crazy. That's I've never seen that shit before.
I've never seen that shit either. And like,
just like here's 30.
Yeah, right.
Boom.
But it worked out.
I'm actually like, I love doing the podcast, man. Yo, like it works out in weird ways. There's one dude who likes kind of the pod, and he's like, yo, if you're ever in New York, let me know. And one time I went to New York like a couple months ago, and he's like, I'm like, yo, I need a parking spot because I want to just leave my car in the like out of the Manhattan. And he just hooked me up. He lived in the Bronx. He's like, yo, come park on this street. There's no parking for like, no checking for days. And I just went, parked there, 3 days in the city, go back, no tickets, nothing.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Dude, I'm like, man, this
You
is
left your car there for 3 days?
3 days.
Was it a lot or like a street?
No, it was like street parking.
Suburb.
So it's all homes.
Okay,
But they don't, it's in the section of the Bronx where they don't check 24/7. They don't check. You just got to be like Thursdays at 12. You got to move so they can brush it or some shit.
Yeah.
So that kind of shit, man, like you never expect that, you know? Like next time I go, I'm actually going to actually by the time this comes out, I'll be in LA. I'll be in LA for a couple days.
Nice. What are you doing out there?
I'm going to San Francisco first because that's the scene I started in pretty much. I'm going back doing some shows.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have friends in LA and I'm just going to go down 2-3 days, check it out, hang out. I know a buddy there who's like there does comedy and like film stuff. I'm going to film a sketch with him. I'm going to hit the Comedy Store, check out like Tuesday night.
Yeah, store's fun.
Yeah, man. And then I'm like, and fly back Wednesday morning, bro.
Yeah,
So, hell yeah, man. Tuesday when this comes out, if you're in LA, let me know. Shit.
Yeah. Fuck
Yo,
yeah, let 'em know.
like it's sick, dude. It's like connects the world, man.
Yeah, man.
People, do you ever look at the countries listening?
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's
a
crazy.
lot of
right?
countries,
Yeah,
man. You're like, sick.
Even just comedy in general. Like, basically, wherever I go to do comedy, there's always someone there who's a comedian who can hook you up with something.
It's like a community, man.
Yeah, dude. No matter where you go in Australia, there's gonna be a bunch of comics from Toronto, comics I've met everywhere. You know what I mean? Everywhere you go, you can go to India right now and find comics.
I went to Shanghai,
Right, and there's comics.
and there's all these South Africans and Irish and the expats who work
Yeah.
in China. They're all there like, oh, and it's all in English.
Yeah.
And right away they tell you where all the mics are. They tell you everything right away.
It's the best.
Man, it really is. It's like a weird subspecies of human.
Yeah,
You
man.
know?
That's why if you're a comedian and you're listening to this, you don't have to be trapped in Canada or the U.S. in a scene that doesn't respect you, because that's what it is. You know, you could be the best comic in the world, but sometimes you don't get the
That love.
recognition you
Yeah.
deserve from the
Yeah.
industry, right? But there's so many options. You're not stuck here. You know what I mean? You don't have to do 30 years of bullshit
Exactly.
where you're not feeling respected. Go somewhere else.
Go where like the wind takes you.
Yeah,
you know?
dude. Don't be scared to leave.
Do you have plans? Because I talked to Paul about this too. Because you know they tell you, everyone just always says, "Oh, bro, you know once you get to a point, you got to choose New York or LA." Mm-hmm. What do you think about that?
That was my mind state for a bit, but I feel like I'm getting to a point where I'm building my own brand,
Yeah. Okay.
building my own fan base.
Yeah.
So I make whatever move I need to make, not relying on what the industry can cap me at.
Yeah,
You know what
okay,
I mean?
exactly.
I'm gonna be bigger than they're gonna allow me to be.
Fuck, man, that's
You know
sick.
what I'm
It's like,
saying?
yeah, now it's like, because you
Yeah,
have a
man.
sick social media.
And I
You're
wanna-
dropping stand-up videos
Yeah,
now. I
and
see it.
I want to blow up in my own city, and like I want to be able to perform in LA and New York and everything, because they're inviting me out. But I want to come home here after.
Yes, bro. So I started comedy in Detroit, 3 months. Then I moved to San Francisco. I'm there 8 months, and that's when I started going out daily. So that's where I feel like, okay, I'm here. And then I had to move to Toronto. So now I've moved. Every time you move, you have 6 months where you just get the shoulder. No one's like, because there's so much flux of people in and out. You never really like get to know people too quick. So it takes like a year before you're like, okay, this is like a guy in the scene
Yeah.
now. And then it takes years for it to become your city. So I'm like, I literally, same thing before. I was like, okay, I'll stay in Toronto for a couple years, then I'll go to New York. And now I'm like, I
What about
have
all
no
that-
home.
Yeah, what about
I've
all
just
that
been
work you just put in,
Exactly.
right?
I've just been jumping around and not making any city have my back.
Bro, I don't
you
want to
know?
leave Toronto unless I'm the king of Toronto. That way I can come back
like
anytime I
Morhej
want.
and
Yeah,
stuff like that. You know what I mean?
exactly.
Like
Yeah.
I'm like, when I leave, when I come back, I can get on every show that night. Just like, oh
Exactly.
shit, you're back in town. You know,
And
what
bro,
I mean?
I've just started noticing in the last couple of years where I can go do most shows and bump someone and get on.
Yeah, 100%. Like
And
if
it's
you
just
came
starting
through,
to happening, but it's been fucking 10 years, bro.
yo, that's what I'm talking
You
about,
know?
man. That's a sick feeling.
Takes
It
time.
happens and you don't even see it happening. You know, you're like at one point you're sitting there and you're watching people bump, and now you're just going up, actually in a hurry because you're doing 3 spots after this.
Or I'm just,
And
I
you're
just
like,
want to
"Can I
get the
just
fuck out of here. I just want to go home.
Yeah, or that.
Yo, just pull me up. I want to get the fuck out of here. And like, all right, bro, you're
Oh,
next.
do you have spots after this? No.
yeah, I just want to go.
Okay.
All right, you're next. Yeah, all right, sick.
Dude, I'd put you up on my show. Yeah, for sure. There's like a list of comics.
Yeah.
Anybody who I pretty much had on my pod at this point, I'm like if you reach, I will like at least consider it. I'm actually not anybody. I'll take that.
Yeah, right, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, exactly.
You look,
There's a lot
at every
of love. Yeah.
you look at every comic differently, and
Yeah.
you're like, if they ask you to go early, some comics are like, yeah, fuck you, buddy, you're
Yeah.
going last. And some people are like, yeah, buddy, I'll put you up literally next.
Yeah, bro. All I've learned in this, like running the Plus Time Comedy Show with Max for like 2 years now, is I don't go past 9. Even if it's like I'm gonna hook you up, I'm 10 comics on the show.
That's
is
too
like,
much.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. I don't care how like
Buddy, 5 comics is
There's
too
9
much.
comics on here. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, like, and this just that's like including the because if Max hosts, I do a set. If he hosts or if he does a set, I host, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So we'll like book 7.
What do you guys do? 5 minutes each, though, right?
We'll do 7s, but it runs long. Now we book it way less, not 9. I don't book it at 9, but it's like I'll hook people up if it's hot crowd and I can tell everyone will stay.
Yeah.
Then I'll put more people up.
Yeah.
But this isn't like I'm not trying to have people there laughing for 2.5 hours.
You'd rather have people wanting more than being tired of it.
Yeah,
That's
and
why-
I've seen it.
yeah.
We have gone past 10. That's how I learned because I'm like, oh, people are yawning,
Yeah.
people are dipping.
We do that with our podcast. We cut it at an hour and 15. Sometimes it'll be a little bit less, sometimes a little more. But we leave when it's interesting and it's good. So people are like, oh, why are you ending it? Well, tune in next week. You know
That's
what I
smart.
mean?
Yeah, that's literally the exact same. When I first started, I was like, oh, I'll do 30. My first episode before I did it, I was like, I'll do 30 or 45-minute episodes.
Mm-hmm.
And then I press record. I sit with Ezra, and we go 2 hours. You know what I mean? Because I didn't know how to be like, we're, you know. And then the next episode, I was like, 45 is ridiculous. You can't get into anything with 45 fucking minutes, right? So it's like, I'm like an hour to an hour 30, and then now that I do it more, it's literally right around an hour 10 is
Yeah.
what I usually land.
It's perfect at that point, yeah.
It's just nice. I feel like it's a good length of a drive.
Yeah. After that, you start falling out of it. You know what
You
I
have
mean?
diminishing returns almost.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you ever listen to those whole Rogan ones like
I don't listen
in
to
one
many
go?
podcasts.
You don't listen to a lot of podcasts?
Not
Who
any.
do you listen to?
No one.
No one at all?
Right now, I'm listening to any podcast.
Okay.
I don't even listen to my podcast.
Yo, I mean, I definitely don't listen to this podcast, but I listen to the podcast. Yeah.
Yeah.
The only time I listen to this is to check if the sound level came through right.
I have a
But,
sound guy for that. I'm like,
yeah.
you tell me it's good?
Yeah, you got that disposable income now, sound guy, bro. I'm up there tinkering with Audacity and shit, bro.
Fuck,
Trying to
bro.
save $7. You know?
I don't know what it is, man. I don't like anything, bro. I don't like music. I like music. I like comedy, but I don't actively pursue it. I don't go out looking for new music. I don't go out looking for new content. It's just whatever
Yeah, man. You just spend so much of yourself creating
that I just want to be.
to just want to be for the rest of it.
Sit at home, close my eyes, and say nothing. You know what I mean?
So you get the joy from the silence. I'm obsessed with music, bro.
Oh, no, I like-
I'm constantly playing music.
I love silence.
Yeah. You know, I'm constantly running from the silence. I'm like, put music on. I can't be alone with these thoughts.
No.
You're nothing. You're nothing. You should have been an engineer, bitch. You're shit.
That's so funny.
Yeah. I'm like, Did you have?
Tell that guy to write some jokes.
Yeah, right? Exactly. Come through. Yo, reach. So anyways, I left engineering. You know. Fuck, dude. What's next for you, man? Like, after Australia, what are you planning to...
No real plans. Just I'm working on my next album.
Oh, what was your last album called?
Confident Dreams, Insecure Realities.
Okay.
Yeah.
Confident Dream. I heard some tracks on that too. I think before you. What year did you record it?
That was 2018.
Did you just
2018.
record it when I started coming to the city? I think. Confident Dreams or what?
Insecure Realities.
Insecure Realities. Okay. Are you sideways profile on it?
No, it's a picture of all greenery, like a big shrub.
Yeah.
And my head sticking out of the middle of it. Yeah.
How was it, man? Recording an album, like, it
was good.
Did you put a lot of weight on that first one?
Well, yeah, it was like 8 years of work, right? 8 years of my best jokes. And
So
now
you retired kind of everything you started and honed.
not retired, but I mean, like, I still use them sometimes if I need to.
If it's a live show, yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, like,
You wouldn't put them on another album.
No. Now that I listen to that album, I think the album's shit. People love it though. I get a lot of love for it.
Because you're
but-
2 years later.
Yeah, but like my
like-
next album's gonna be fire.
Yeah?
And
You got a name, you think?
I think it's gonna be called Beard Hairs and Blunt Ash.
Beard. Okay, sick. Does it have a picture of...
It's I got that graffiti artist Elixir, the guy who did the mural outside the corner.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah,
He's doing it?
Yeah, he's working on my album cover for me.
Fuck
It's gonna be
yeah,
me
man.
sitting in an ashtray.
Yo, that's sick.
yeah.
That's actually gonna look dope. How many tracks do you actually aim to put on these things?
My
Do
last
they
one
have a
had
requirement?
my last one had 13.
Yeah.
It was about just under an hour. I'm not really focused on that. I'm probably gonna do like 45 to an hour for
Yeah.
the next album, and then I'll chop it up. I might only use 30 minutes of it, might 45 minutes. It all depends.
Do they put minimums for these albums? Like, is it like a...
No, there's no
It
minimums.
could be an EP.
Yeah, you could drop a 10-minute album if you really wanted. You can do anything you want. It's just that if you want your shit to be played on Sirius XM and shit, it needs to be over 90 seconds per track.
Okay, well, so you can't have like those 1 minute like back and forths. You
Yeah.
can't put them on.
So every track that I cut on my 12-minute album or my 12-track album was at least 90 seconds.
Fuck yeah, man. Yo, I'm excited for my first album. I don't know what I'm going to call it, but I'm still got some years to put in before that.
Yeah,
But
bro,
yeah,
just
man.
fucking do it.
Yeah. I'm just like, because I like artwork and music.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I'm obsessed with music. So the way I'm thinking about this is like, this is your first LP, you know? what I mean?
Yeah, bro.
So I
Fuck
kind of,
yeah.
I'm not like, I don't want to, I'm not in a rush to put this shit out immediately, you know?
But there's money to be made, bro. And like,
Is
the
your
way I
thing
thought
going
of-
around on what's File Exchange or whatever?
Sound
it's called?
Exchange?
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
And it's
some
making
money
you
off.
a nice check?
Make me a nice check.
Hell yeah, man.
dude.
Fuck
and that's
yeah.
why I want to drop more albums. When I look at it, back in the day, the greats had like 15 albums. Richard Pryor had like how many albums? Who fucking knows? 15 albums, something like that.
Did he?
A lot of fucking albums.
I didn't even grow up with comedy albums until
Me-
I started being with around comedians.
I never listen to comedy. I still don't, but I just know that, like, by the time I actually, this shit actually pays off, I'm gonna have like,
a body of work.
yeah, man, 10, 20 albums under my belt. I'm gonna try to drop one every year from now.
Fuck yeah, man. And that it pushes you to write and keep creating.
Yeah, just keep being funny. Don't lose your shit.
Hell yeah, man. Yo, I'm excited. Yo, tell the people how to find you, dude.
Instagram at Nittysak, Nittysak. High on Trees is the podcast name. Just type that into Spotify, SoundCloud,
Yeah, that's
Apple,
with
iTunes.
host Paul Thompson who's on the pod.
Yeah, High on Trees, Hot Podcast on Instagram, Nittysak on Instagram. That's about it. I don't really use
As always,
anything else.
I put that shit in the description anyway, man.
So yeah, click the fucking description, bro.
Yeah, you'll see the link. You know what it is. As always, from me, if you are listening on Apple Podcasts, rate it, like it, subscribe it, share it, 5 stars, do all that shit. Spotify, follow that shit. And just tell people about the Immigrant section, spread the word, let them know. As always, peace.
Take
Hell yeah,
care.
thanks for coming on,
Yeah,
brother. I
bro, thanks for
appreciate
having
you,
me,
man.
man. I
I didn't even
appreciate
give
it.
you a proper goodbye. As always, check out High on Trees podcast. Look at the description. Peace, y'all.
Immigrant section. Fuck yeah, support our local immigrants.